Hey, my name is Kim. I am owner of the company called Faceted Media, and today I did a class about how to make Google happy. So I thought I would also record this for you guys who didn't get to come. So, all right, I'm kind of doing this sort of makeshift, so just bear with me. Okay, here I am, and we're gonna go over here to our agenda. Okay, so I already told you guys kind of who I am. We're a social enterprise. Where basically we take our passion and we give back to the community. For me, that involves helping teens and young adults, helping them start their own businesses and basically create independence through their passions, specifically if they're creative and artsy, and technical. I've been a speaker at Denver Public Schools for several years, and we also have an internship that's now international, and it's really awesome. We've also done other stuff like cleaned up rivers and outdoor spaces, collected diapers, handbags, etc., and we donate a lot of our services to solopreneurs and small businesses. So we also do a lot of our technical stuff that you need, so building your website, graphic design, search engine optimization, graphics, video editing, photography, SEO, I probably said that already, blog writing, social media, basically everything you can think of. Because when you end up working with that company that does one thing, they usually kind of pigeonhole, and then you kind of wonder, why doesn't everything work together? So in my company, I make sure everything works together. So it's called Faceted Media. I was even told today, someone's like, I think you're doing way more than most people would do in this position. And they're absolutely right. I do way more. I do too much. But it's a good thing for your business. So you definitely want to work with someone who does a little of everything so it all works together. All right, so I'm going to go over what I talked about today in class. And first, we're going to start with your website. When you talk to me, you're going to know that I'm instantly going to say, hey, I don't know, to those two types of websites. They are the commercials that are like, make a website with one click of a button. And I just don't believe in that for a lot of different reasons. They're both visual editors, so they are drag and drop. And SEO is just harder. You get a lot less options as well when you do a Wix or a Squarespace site. There was once a commercial. You guys might have heard of it before. I think it was for a heartburn medication. And I can't remember what the medication was. So I guess I didn't do that great of a job. But it was like, would you rather have heartburn now or heartburn later? And that's how I feel about Wix and Squarespace sites, is that while you may get up easier, you will have heartburn later because you're going to have to redo it. You're just going to have to redo it. You're going to end up on WordPress and you're going to wish you started off the right way. So anyway, this class is all about getting started the right way and making sure that Google's happy with you. Moving on. So I'm going to show you the back end of WordPress. This is my site. And I want to just tell you a couple things about why WordPress is more valuable for you for SEO. You can see right over here, I've got two green marks for my readability and my SEO. And right here, you might think, okay, that's great. It's just a heading, right? It just makes it stand out more. It's just visually more appealing. However, when you switch to the text side, you can see that it's literally making a code that tells Google, this is more important. And it's especially important for me to have this in the heading because that is what I want to rank for. So SEO is all about your writing, which words you're using, and the formatting as well. You can also see down here is bolded. Well, you might say, well, it's just bolded. But again, on the text side, you can see it says that this is more strong. So again, we're giving Google, the all-knowing robot, directions as to which words are more important in my text. The other thing with WordPress, you get free business emails. With Squarespace, you have to pay extra. Squarespace also, it's expensive. I think it's like $150 a year, which is fine if you got all the extras included, but you don't. You have to pay extra for those. Bluehost is $2.95 a month on a shared server, or $13.99 for the pro account. You get a dedicated IP address, and you're not sharing with anybody. InMotion hosting is another great option. I use InMotion hosting, but I'm thinking about switching to Bluehost for their pro features. But either one, you get free business emails, which are synced directly into your Gmail, Outlook, whatever you want. And so that is a bonus. I'm going to skip down here. You also get a free SSL certificate. If you don't know what that is, it is this, the green lock right here. Google started a while ago to give more priority to websites that have the SSL certificate. With Wix, I believe you have to pay extra. Squarespace, you might get it for free. They also might be $100 a year. I know GoDaddy is $100 a year for the SSL certificate. With these, you get it included. So that's what I recommend. Let's go to more SEO opportunities and plugins like Yoast. Yoast is a plugin. I should also mention that these don't allow you to have plugins. You have to pay extra for everything. So it's one of those things where you get started, you think everything's fine, and then anything you want to do, it's like, it's extra, or you can't do it, or you have to get someone to help you. I mean, it's just one of those traps. I'll just be honest with you. For plugins, the best one that I like to use is called Yoast. It's really just a guide that helps you with your writing. So I'm scrolling down to where the section is. And if you can see here, I chose unicorn marketing as my key phrase. These are some things that I need to work on if I wanted it to be perfect. I would put my key phrase in the very first paragraph. I would also add the keyword a few more times throughout my copy. I would also put it in my meta description, and I would shorten my title. For me, in my particular blog here, I chose to focus on these things instead, and I still got a green mark, so I've hit most of them. But in a perfect world, you would hit all of them. I have an outbound link. That means a link to another website. That just means that you are sharing in the World Wide Web, and Google likes that. Even though you would be technically taking someone to an outside link, good ways to include these are like resources at the end, a link to review you somewhere, a link to a colleague's site, something like that. But basically, they give more props to websites that are sharing. Internal links, you'll want to weave those through. Those are links to other places in your website. My key phrase length is okay. My meta description length is okay. I've never used this key phrase before. I've got it in my subheadings. I've got it in my alt tags. I'll show you that in a second. I've got a lot of words. Usually 300 is the minimum. And I've got it in my title, and I've got it in my slug. The slug is just this right here. So you want that to be short. Also, if you have your permalinks, permalinks are if you accidentally have like the date right here, you might want to look at fixing your permalinks. You want this to be really short. And if you have the date in there, then the permalinks were set on default, and you won't be able to backdate anything. It's always going to have that date. If you want to do an event, it always has the date. Just an issue. So I would definitely have someone experienced set up your website, but then I promise it's really, it's easy to navigate on your own. I promise. So yeah, it's basically formatting, using your keywords, and then you've got your checklist. Let me show you the alt tags that I was talking about. You just go into your edit here, and there's a box that pulls up. This is how Google image search actually works. It's the keywords in the image. So you would just include that there. Now we can show up on image search as well as regular search, which helps you. You always want to have your company name in your title if you can. And down here this is all you would get if you had a Wix or Squarespace site. You just get a meta description box. So there's just not enough there to help you with SEO if you're really trying to be competitive. SEO has some technical aspects to it too, but right now I'm just focusing on the actual keywords. Something you would be surprised, well, maybe not, but a lot of people write their website copy very poetically and very abstractly. And while you and I understand what that could mean, to Google the robot, if you literally don't have the words of what you do or where you're located or what you want people to search for, Google will have no idea what you're talking about. So you can write as poetically as you want to. If you're writing poetically in blogging often and wondering why you're not getting the results, it's likely that you don't have enough of your actual business or service keywords woven into your text. And then additionally, you may not have the formatting set up with the code that's telling Google which words are more important. You could have too short of text. You could be missing out on some of those links. You could have not have your keywords in the meta description. It could be any number of things. So it's kind of an art to it, but hopefully this is going over the basics. Okay, another cool thing is that Yoast also tells you how well you're writing. So we've got our focus keyword that handles our SEO. Over here, it tells us how easy is our text to read. Are we writing in passive or active voice? Active voice is I threw the ball. Passive voice is the ball was thrown to me. And it's something to just kind of work around yourself, trying to understand that concept. And then writing like a journalist with short, action-focused words. Consecutive sentences, just making sure you're not using the same word all the time. Subheading distribution is just making sure you have a heading, with like 2 or 3 paragraphs split up. You don't want to have just all text. You want to have headings. Sentence length, again, shorter sentences. Transition words, those are basically like subsequently, it follows that, next, etc., etc. So Yoast just walks you through, and that's kind of the back end of SEO, writing for SEO, essentially. All right. The other thing with a WordPress site is that you get more options for site speed adjustment. If you are using a Wix or Squarespace site, you are fully dependent on their hosting, which is good and bad. Again, it makes it quote unquote easier for you, but it also allows you not too much leeway with increasing the speed of your site. And site speed is a SEO factor, along with many others. But something to think about when you are deciding what to do, or if you're on a Squarespace or Wix site and you're kind of wanting better SEO. Okay, Google My Business. This is really basic, but maybe you don't know this yet. Have you ever been driving and you are like looking up the location on your phone and it's not there? Like maybe all the other locations are there, but the one place that you want to go is not on the map. Probably everyone has experienced this. It's because they literally haven't put themselves on the map. So you have to actually put your business on the map. So Google My Business, you'll see this here. I don't want to go in there actually because I realize you might be able to see some client names. So I'm not going to actually go in there on this video. But basically you want to make sure that you have applied on Google My Business to have your listing, and you have received you get an actual postcard in the mail with an actual confirmation code, similar to Nextdoor if you've done that before. And then you enter in your code, and that's how you can get your listing on Google My Business. Additionally, for SEO, it's good to embed a map from Google Maps on your website. Google Maps API, if you just Google that, you can actually set up an account, and you can create some really unique maps that have your location on them and have all sorts of different things. All of that helps the SEO. I will talk to you about posting here in just a second. On location, you also want to have consistent address and phone number. If you're using Avenue sometimes and Av sometimes, that actually can hurt your SEO. I know it sounds silly, but it's that particular. Same thing with plurals of your services and variations of your service. So if you're a counselor, you want to use counselor, counselors, therapist, therapy, every single variation that you can think of, so that you have covered all the exact words that people will be searching. The other thing is you want to include your service area and your address throughout your site. So if you just have it only on a contact page, you're missing out on all those other pages. So it's good to just include at the bottom and also in your footer what areas you service, where your location is, and make sure everything matches. Have your phone number, everything, have your business name, and a brief description of what you do. If you have that on every page and every post, you're going to be ranking a lot higher. Duplication rule. There's the caveat to that. You cannot have the same exact content or Google will penalize you. So just make sure that you are transposing. When you are writing similar information, you're transposing. Further, you never want to submit a blog. Say you submit a blog to a colleague or something and they post it for you, and then you're like, oh, I'm just going to do double duty and copy this and put it on my website. Well, Google will only rank for the first one posted. So there's literally no point to you putting duplicate content a second time, especially if it's been published. And you definitely don't want to do it if you've had it published in a reputable news magazine. They'll get very upset about that, understandably. So just always make sure that you're transposing your information. You're never copying anything because Google will dock you. They like to dock for things like that. All right. Posting on Google My Business. So, like I said, I'm not going to log in there right now. But inside Google My Business, you can actually post posts. So you might know that Google Plus is now obsolete. They closed it down. It didn't really work, but Google My Business is going strong. So what you want to be doing is posting regularly on Google My Business, even daily if you can. You might be saying, Kim, that's crazy. I like using Social Pilot. It's like Hootsuite, but I think better. I think it's easier to navigate, and you can also do different companies. Like if you have 2 different companies, you can have up to 50 profiles for just $25 a month. So I think it's a better deal than Hootsuite, and I really like it. The one thing about Social Pilot and any social media program that schedules ahead, just remember that Instagram always has to be done on a phone. So whether you're scheduling ahead or not, if you're scheduling Instagram, it's going to send you a reminder when it's ready to post, and then you still have to log in, and you still have to post it. Okay, moving on. Intro to SEO. So we've talked about writing for SEO a little bit. I've shown you the back end. I've shown you the bolding and the headers and things like that. But let's talk about how to find keywords. One is the keyword planner. I'm going to let you guys just go ahead and Google that. It's in Google Ads. You have to have a Google Ads account in order to use keyword planner, but it's going to show you all sorts of trends and like competition and just all sorts of information that can help you with your keyword planning. Here's the easy way. You just type in small business marketing or whatever your keyword is. Maybe it's cute clothes for dogs. And you'll find the top searches just for that. If you want to go further, you can start to see what are the top deals, stylish designer, what are the keywords that the top people are using. Take that information. If you want to go further, go down here and it'll give you extra of the top searches. I'm going to type in marketing for small business just to show you, because sometimes this section pops up, but not for every search. Let's see if it'll pop up for this one. Yep. So these are all blog topics, because those are the top questions. And if you can answer some of these questions, you can potentially be one of the answers here. So that's really the simplest way, is to just use this regular old Google search. Get your questions here, get your additional stuff down here, and that's all what people are searching. If you want to be top, you want to do some easy keyword research, it's so simple. If you want to go a little deeper, go on Keyword Planner. Another one that's really cool is called Google Trends and Google Correlate. That's for some even deeper keyword research. I won't go into it too much for you right now, but take a look at those. It's pretty awesome. We've talked about nearly all of this stuff, so I'm going to skip to calendars. I have saved, basically this is a way you can get timely. Oh, you'll notice I'm a bit organized here. Okay, so I have all these different calendars. So there's like hashtag calendars and all these different things, just so that you can be on the same page with everybody when it's like National Sibling Day or whatever. Sometimes it can get overdone. You definitely want to find the right niche if you're going to go the calendar route. But these are just all suggestions about how to hit keywords and hit them at the right time and things like that. So calendars, just Google like hashtag holidays or whatever calendar and it'll come up. Google Search Console, same thing as Google My Business. I'm not going to log in because you'll see client names and I want to maintain confidentiality, but just go ahead and set that up. If you haven't done it yet, just go ahead and set it up. It's how you can see how you're organically being found, what number you're ranking, all that good stuff. Because when you just search yourself, and you're not doing it in incognito mode, which here's how you go to incognito mode right there. That has no metadata. It's not tracking you, etc. So that's better to see your rankings. But Google Search Console is just a must have for anyone who has a website to just maintain the health of your website. On that note, never delete any pages, never delete any posts. You can hide them, but if you delete them, you're going to have what's called an error 404. Google does not like that. If you have an error 404 or you have deleted some old posts or pages, what you can do is set up a redirect so that that old link goes to a link that actually works, and that is how you can solve any error 404 issues. Google Analytics, I'm also not going to log into that right now for you because it will tell you show you more information than I need to show you today. But the cool thing with Google Analytics is that it's going to tell you where traffic is coming from. For me, 86% comes from organic traffic, and that's great. Then I have a nice chunk of social media. I've got a nice chunk of direct traffic. That's people who know my business, or me, probably typing it in. And also I have a little chunk for paid traffic because I believe in Google AdWords. And we also set that up. It's very particular how to set it up. So if you're someone who says, I tried it and it didn't work for me, try hiring someone to do it for you because it works. It freaking works. Let me tell you, and it crushes. I don't think it should be the majority of your budget, but it should be there for sure. In this day of age, there's just too much competition. There's too many humans in this world. There's too many businesses. And you really need to have a little bit of a boost in some cases. Saying that, you also need to be going out and networking. You need to be volunteering. You need to be doing something that's in your passion. Because if you are hiding at home and waiting for the phone to call, it's just not going to happen. So my philosophy is do a little of everything and you will definitely get somewhere. Obviously, there's some things that work better than others. But if you're trying a little of all of them, you definitely are going to get somewhere and not fail. The other cool thing with Google Analytics is it tells you how people are traveling through your site. So if they're going to your homepage first, then they're going to your about page, and then they're going to contact, that's a win-win. But if all the traffic is dropping off after your homepage, there needs to be a call to action that's more intriguing for them to continue on. Also, if your bounce rate is 100%, that means everybody's leaving. If it's 85%, Google says that's average. 70% even better. So you want to watch that and also just make sure you're not getting robot traffic and things like that. So Google Analytics is super helpful too. Just make sure the health of your website is good, your ratios are good, you're getting the most out of your money and your efforts and things like that. All right. Heat map. So I can't necessarily exactly show you this, but there are pieces to Google Analytics that it can't show you. Some things are what people are clicking on and where they're hovering and hanging out. A heat map is a plugin for WordPress. And what it will show you is just where people are hovering and what they're clicking on. And it's extremely illuminative to how people are interacting with your site. I couldn't recommend heat map enough, especially if you are trying to kind of figure out what is going on in your website, why they aren't filling out your form or whatever. It could be because you have some button that they're clicking on before they even get to the form. And that's why they're clicking there. So just extremely insightful. All right, we're almost to the end. Backlinks. So a backlink is just a link back to your website. People often ask how to get published. Here's how you can. It's very simple. Let's do fashion. All you just click is submit an article or submit, and then you'll just see all sorts of publications that you can submit an article to and exactly how to submit them. I could exchange that for psychology. I could exchange it for marketing. I could exchange it for health, wellness, Reiki, whatever your thing is that you do, and you're going to come up with a whole bunch. Remember the duplicate content rule and follow their instructions to a T. You can't just write the article and send it to everybody. It really needs to be specific to them. but that's how you can get published. That's one way. There's lots of ways. Directories are especially helpful for people like contractors, making sure that you're on Angie's List, Home Advisor, Better Business Bureau, Yelp, all those places are all going to be easy backlinks. For counselors, it could be like a counselor list or directory. I mean, there's tons. I mean, it's endless, really. Just Google directory and your niche, and you'll be able to find stuff. Forums are another way to get backlinks. These are places like Quora, Wikipedia, Reddit, or a specific forum to your industry. If you're commenting and adding a link back to your website, that is a backlink. Guest posts are just simply asking your colleague if you can write a blog for them. Make sure you include a link back to your website. If you write an article and it has no links back to your website, you just spent a lot of time doing not too much to help your business. That backlink is seriously the most crucial part of writing a guest post for someone. So make sure you weave it in somehow. And you don't have to be tacky like, contact me for a free consultation. I've seen people before in like Huffington Post and other places be like, when I compare, like highlighting the text, when I compare to what I do or something, and then that text is highlighted and goes back to your website. There's just creative ways that you can set it up. So lastly, and then I'll just go over my resources really quick, is your paid AdWords. It's actually called Google Ads. It was formerly called AdWords. I just like calling it AdWords because ads is so generic. It's just kind of hard to, I don't know. I just can't change. I don't know. So you can actually become an expert. You can go to Google School. It's called Academy for the Ads. And they have courses on every single type of thing. So to be certified, it's an extremely long test. It's like 2 hours. It's really hard. It's complicated, but you can do it. Or you can just watch the little short videos and you can still get a lot out of it. There's lots of other stuff here that you could become an expert at. So Google, yeah, it goes on. It's awesome. So Google has provided this free of charge for you guys. All right, so some of these are well known if you've been in business for a while, but I just wanted to go over a few of them. Just some more free resources that you can use. So free photos, Pexels, Unsplash, Pixabay are common. Pixabay also has free videos, stock videos. I like Social Pilot for social media scheduling. I like Yoast for SEO. I like MailChimp for newsletters. I like WeVideo. I do the paid version. You get a lot more. Paid version has stock video, more animated text, etc. But trust me, if you're just starting out and you just want to make a few videos, the free version is totally fine. Canva, I also pay for the pro version. I get more because I just do more in marketing and stuff like that. But you can definitely get away with the free version of Canva if you're first starting out. Free form surveys. Google Forms, Google Surveys is a great way to kind of have like a form to kind of qualify people before they sign up with you. Surveys are a great way to just see interest or like how you did after a service or something like that. And they just have really good algorithms and tracking to kind of maintain your stuff. I always have an intake form. Every person that I meet with for a free consultation, I have a specific form for what they're asking for. And it's been tremendous in helping them prepare for my meetings, as well as helping me keep a record and things like that. So I highly recommend having some sort of intake form if you are the type of business that does a free consultation or paid consultation. Finally, site speed test is right here. Just Google site speed test Google, and that is how you can check your site speed. This is all just super basic. Actually, some is not that basic, but kind of some beginning stuff. And if anything seems a little bit over your head or you need some assistance, please definitely call me. My company is called Faceted Media. My name is Kim. I'll make sure to include all of my contact info. And thank you, Mia, for suggesting that I record this class. I had a lovely turnout today at the library, but I wasn't able to record while I was there, so I just went ahead and did this once I got home. But I really appreciate the opportunity, and thanks for watching. Thank you so much. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day and get some use out of this class. Cheers.